Hello, hello. Hello, pretty people. How are you today? This is Kathy, Carolina Party Artist, bringing you a flip through of my latest junk journal. This one I am calling Garden Window. When I first started, I thought it was going to be a secret garden, but that didn't happen. So here we go, Garden Window. It is huge, 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 huge. It is tied with a sari silk bow. And give me 1 second. Let me just make sure that I've got this in the right place. I believe I do. You know me and technology. Never, never, never the fun part. Here we go. All right, let me try moving it up just a little bit more and see if I've got it. All right, give me just 1 second. I think you can see that all right. If you're jumping on here, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And have you ever made a junk journal before? Hey Robin, hey Lita, thank you so much for jumping on. This is my new junk journal that I just completed. It is called Garden Window and it is huge. Okay, it is tied with a sari silk bow, but before I open it, let me just show you. I hope you can get a sense of the thickness of this. The spine itself is 3 inches, however, it definitely is a chunky monkey, as we call it. If I put my ruler up here, and this is with it tied, it's 4 inches across, and that's not tied super tight, but that's enough to hold it together, 4 inches that way. It does measure 6 inches across by 9 inches tall. On the spine side, it is about 3¼ inches, but like I said, on the open side, it is closer to 4.5, something like that. It's a big one. Anyway, here we go. So we have a beautiful sari silk bow tied in a nice knot, and this is completely removable. If you don't like it, you can certainly do something else with it. It is made from recycled cardboard, of course. It has a removable spine dangle, sorry, not the spine, made with ribbons and various yarns. What am I trying to say? Come on, mouth, you can work. There are little charms of a star and a moon. Somewhere in here there's some feathers, there's some beads, and there's some little baby roses up at the top. And like I said, it does have an alligator clip, so it is removable should you want to remove it. Beautiful, beautiful piece of fabric on the cover. And I left the back plain, but on the front I've also created a collage for some really pretty textured and patterned papers. Okay, the butterfly is a little bit 3D. The flowers, of course, are 3D, and the little tiny tag. Okay, when we first opened this one, let me see, make sure I'm in frame here. There is a, what I call a mini journal right in the front. It's mini, but it's not too mini. It ties in with this little piece of ribbon, which is attached directly to the journal and then to the mini journal. That slides right out from a pocket right here in the front cover. This one is about 32 pages, and it has a pocket right here on the very front little window with a journaling tag inside. Inside, I won't go through every single page, but there are pockets and tuck spots. There are all kinds of embellishments, just to give you a little sense of what it's like. Lots of tags, lots of empty spaces to journal, big pockets, little pockets. There are a few dangles. There are some secret journaling spots, which I'm not going to reveal completely in the video because I think it's fun for the owner to get to try that. There's some collage paper. I don't think there's napkins on this one. That's probably the only thing I don't think I used. There's, of course, beautiful lace. And again, just giving you an idea of what's in this little mini. Some of the cards are in pockets, some are completely removable. Butterflies, flowers, look at the little bunny rabbits, garden critters basically. All kinds of tuck spots for you to explore and to enjoy. So this one is completely removable, can be used separate. This can just wrap around it. I will tie that back into the front in a little while. And now we get on to the main part of the journal. The inside cover is covered in this beautiful green paper with some pretty lace trim. The spine is also covered with fabric, and it has 5 signatures. They are all sewn in separately into the spine, and so that makes lots and lots of pretty pages. As you can see, there are lace and fabric tags coming out from the sides, from the top, from the bottom. There are loads of charms in this one, guys. Oh my gosh, I think I went a little overboard. Let me see if I can share with you a little bit. See if you can see all the little charms and beads, because we probably won't go through every one as we go through it, but there are all kinds of little charms connected there, and on some of the strings from where the signatures were tied in, lots of pretty little beads and charms. I hope you can see that. It's so hard to make sure we get it on. Hi Shelly, thanks for jumping on and taking a look at my new journal. This is called Garden Window. The first page has an adorable bunny. I could not resist this. It has a button which I've crocheted a little flower around. I love this. A garden is a grand teacher. It teaches patience and careful watchfulness. It teaches industry and thrift. Above all, it teaches entire trust. You do have to trust when you put things in the ground that they're actually going to grow, right? There's beautiful laces. I hope you can see a little bit of these. This is listed in my Etsy shop. I'm just now getting around to getting the flip through done. Life has been crazy trying to get the kiddos back to school. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Let me see if we can see this. I don't know if you can see both sides at once. It's always the challenge on doing these videos, is trying to get an open book to fit in the frame from the camera. Let's see if I adjust this a little bit. Okay, I think you got it. Welcome to my garden. Like I said, there are lots of tags, little mini books, pockets, lace, doilies, beautiful papers. I've sprinkled a few fairies inside, garden fairies, which are super fun. They have little pages inside. I mean, look at that paper. How pretty is that? There is a lot of sewing embellishment. Not every page is sewn, not every tag is sewn, but there are quite a number of them. There's a doily tag. Give a weed an inch and it'll take a yard. Haha. There are little beads that are sewn on some of this bottom trim. Make sure you can see that. Put it up a little higher. I'm seeing it in my camera, but now I'm checking on my tablet. I think so. All right. Coffee and tea stain papers. Of course, scrapbook papers. Some printed digis. All different kinds of things in this one. A little bit of almost everything. There's a page made with vellum and picture frames. Just trying to keep it a little simpler. Lots of room to journal. Lots of stenciling, stamping, you name it. It's just pretty. There are several pages made with actual pages from one of our favorite authors. Who knows what that is? Who can tell me? Hold on. Let me just grab it real quick. Oh my gosh. There we go. This one has a sticker on the front. Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. These books are highly coveted by junk journalers everywhere. And I was able to get my hands on several of them at a reasonable fee. And so this one does include several pages from those books. And some of them have little pages, where the images are hidden. I've added a little bit of stenciling at the bottom, but mostly kept the pages just simple for you to enjoy. When you take this tag out, you can read some of the text underneath. Belly bands. Little cutouts of all kinds. There are multiple pages here that flip out. See if I can get you all the way to the end of this one. Let me hold just a second and see if that actually did end up in the frame, so you can see how long it is. I hate that there's a delay on my end because it makes it so hard to see. There we go. Yeah, it flips out 1, 2, 3 different times. Tag in the center. Some trees and this adorable little image of the little girls reading on a bench out in the garden. Again, lots of different tags, different sizes. and it flips out this way as well. Lots of windows in this journal. And what do you think you'd see looking out a window into your garden? What would be in your garden? There's some more Edith Holden. There's a pocket there. Look at that image on that page. I had to add this to the top. Flowers don't worry about how they're going to bloom. They just open up and turn toward the light, and that makes them beautiful. Isn't that really, really pretty? My goodness. I hope you can see the colors in that. It is such a beautiful, I guess I'd call it a combination of dusty rose and, I don't know, a darker rose color. There's lots of rose colors, but I think that does show up pretty good on the screen. It's so pretty. Again, more vellum pages. A couple of more garden fairies. Journaling spots. Oop, this one's kind of coming apart. Just different ways to tuck them in. All kinds of different shapes and sizes of tags that you can, of course, put in any order that you like or take out completely. There are a number of tags and pages that have little doors or windows that open, just to add another interactive fun element to your journal. Oops, let's see. Lots of tags with textures on them. Look at that tiny little heart bead. Can you see that? Isn't that sweet? Just couldn't resist adding some of those. There's some more of those hearts, but these are the larger ones. On this beautiful lace. Things that flip up and flip over. I kind of went lace crazy on this one. I just felt like it fit. What can I say? I loved it, and so I put it on there. And that's what I love about making junk journals, is you just work on it and you put in what you love. This is made from an old envelope, and it has a tag this way. And then when you flip the envelope out, hopefully that stays in frame, you actually open it up, and inside there's a card with dragonflies and journaling spots and a pocket in the back. That all goes back into the little pale blue envelope there. And tuck it back in. Makes its own little page. Here's another window that opens. Some birds and a watering can inside, as well as a journaling tag behind. More sewing. Another page that flips. So when I tell you there are about 152 pages front and back, that does not include the flips. I don't count them separately. They are all, they're all too hard to count all those. Definitely too hard to count all those. Like a little wheelbarrow full of flowers. I'd love to have one of those in my yard. Of course, the yard I have is not appropriate for it, but it would be fun someday. More windows. These ones don't open, but they do have adorable little images put behind the frames and tags behind the images. There's a larger one. And again, a little place for your eyes to rest, a place to journal. There are several places where you can pull out little mini pads. You can record or doodle or add photos, whatever your heart's desire. The goal of my junk journal making is to let you be the one who gets to dream. Dream about what you'd like that journal to be, what you'd like to record or put in it. Multiple layers of tags are fun to make. I love making a tag that has a pocket with another tag, just to give it more interest. Birds, butterflies, bees, more Edith Holden paper. It flips out a little bit, so you can read some of her beautiful writing and see the handwriting. I've added minimal ephemera to that because it's just so beautiful as it is. Can't really add anything to her artwork. This is a really pretty page with a pocket here and a little window that flips over, multiple layered window there. The other end of that Edith Holden. On this side where there was just, let's see, I think I have to pull this clip off, and then that lifts up and this one lifts up. See, this page wouldn't have been as pretty, although the handwriting's beautiful. I felt like it was okay to embellish the back side of that one. Another page of vellum with a pocket. Another old doily. Pockets, journaling spaces. Lots of little places to journal. Beautiful lace and dangles. More window pockets. More mini pads. How about these for tiny tags? Oh my gosh, how cute are those? Teeny, teeny, tiny tags. You could put one word or a little scripture verse or somebody's name on those. There's always something you can add. There's some more small journaling spaces as well as larger ones. There's another cute bunny. This bunny's in a pocket of his own in front of a birdhouse. Charm that says field notes. Side pockets. There's top pockets, side pockets. No end to the little pockets. I do love pockets. There's a vintage lady in her garden. Would you garden just like that? I wouldn't. Another tiny pocket. Larger pocket. Tuck spots. Mini pads. Lace. I have so much lace. I'm blessed to have been given some and found some really good deals on it. So I feel like I can be quite generous in journals where it belongs. How about that for a little garden statue? I couldn't resist putting that in there. A little butterfly, lace butterfly, some coloring pages. More windows with hidden tags. I guess it's not very hidden if I show it to you, is it? There's a bird tag in a bird pocket. Here's a little flower that actually turns with a seed packet under it. Never look back, only look forward. Had a lot of fun with doing different papers in here. There's another garden fairy for you. How sweet is that? I do like to finish the backs of all of my tags. I feel like, personally, just for me, I like the look when both sides are done. That's all I can say about that. That's a little vellum, or not vellum, a little glassine type bag. More journaling spots. Look at this, sweetie. How about that? Just could not resist putting a few of those kind of things in there. If we could see the miracle of a single flower, clearly our whole life would change. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you'll share this with others. Hi, Sue. Hi, Shelley. I hope thank you for the comments. This has been a challenge for me to complete this one. A lot of stuff has gone on during the last couple months. I've been pretty absent from this page, trying to get my other business up and running, trying to get my grandkids back to school, and as well as some other things. So it's had some starts and stops, but I finally was determined when school actually started back, which was just last week, I was going to complete this and get it listed. I have a special order one I'm getting ready to start. I'm actually collecting things for it now, and I'm excited about that. But I just needed to get this one completed first. There's a little fairy. Lots more lace. Ruffled lace. More mini books. I hope you just get a sense of all that's in it without having to open and pull out every single tag. Different tags of all sizes. Again, things that flip. I love adding dimension to the pages. I love adding surprises that you can find as you go through it. I love it that a junk journal is a journey from cover to cover. And as you go from cover to cover, you can find new things every time you look. You may find things today that you didn't see yesterday, and find things the next time you look that weren't there before. There's a large pocket that actually unwraps. I'm not going to show you what's in there. Let that be a surprise. There's also a little tag underneath, just tucked in there. And again, a lot of these tags can be moved around if they're sewn in, obviously not, but if they're clipped in or under a belly band or a side pocket or a corner pocket, of course they can be moved around to suit your fancy. There's some larger journaling pages included in some of the larger pockets. What is coming is better than what is gone. How fun is that? Love, love, love this rose. This is one of my favorites. I say that about 20 times every journal. Gardens are not made by singing, "Oh, how beautiful," and sitting in the shade. They do take some work. I admire beautiful gardens. I do not have one. I wish I did. So my garden happens to be junk journaling. Beware the snapdragons. What a funny sign to have in a garden. That's something I would probably put if I did have a garden with snapdragons. I had a great aunt that had a beautiful rose garden in her backyard, and she had snapdragons down on the ground. I think her roses were the baby pink roses that climbed way up the fence. And as a little girl, I remember seeing them. There's another window that you can see something through and has a pocket behind it. Pockets, one of my faux buttons. Those were super fun to make. I showed them a while back. Journaling spots. More windows. There's a corner tuck. Some buttons. I'm trying to think of a little bit of everything. Some little tags that are just clipped on with the little bulb pins. How about that? There's a whole field guide to a whole lot of little flowers right there. Another belly band. This was cute. Roses are red, violets are blue. My garden's almost as pretty as you. And that could be taken off, of course, or left in or out. There are a few little touches of my own Zen doodle art, which some of you may know that I love doing. Just sprinkled throughout the journal, not very many, just a few. Just as a little bonus, weed it and reap. How funny is that? This page may or may not have some secret spots that you'll have to discover. And some more seed packet type tags. This was fun. I've forgotten who I saw it from just recently. You take this belly band off, and when you open it, how fun is that? Got 4 little birds. There's also may or may not be some secret spots in there, which I'm not, again, going to tell you all the fun, because I love for the person who gets this journal to be having some surprises. I'll put this back on. Isn't that cute? Just made from one sheet of paper and tucked right in there. I don't have it on very straight, but we'll get back to it. Enjoy your sadness. Flowers are our constant friends. And that's the truth. You get flowers on good days and flowers on the worst days. More flowers, more tuck spots, more journaling spaces, the small things. More mini books. And sometimes they have pockets within them, sometimes they don't. Majestic butterfly. Boy, you could do some journaling right there, couldn't you? Whatever it is you want to record. More Edith Holden pages, tea-dyed papers. Oh, here's one that comes all the way out. Goes back in. Pretty little journaling spot. Lots of little tags. Couldn't resist putting a little wishing well in anything that has to do with a garden, right? Let's see. I think I have a question here. Shelley, can you make something like this without a sewing machine? Absolutely, Shelley. You do not need to sew. Oh, thank you. When I first started, did not sew any of the pages, and then I started watching other people that were sewing, and I really liked what it looked like. I was very nervous about sewing on paper, feeling like it would just rip. But what I have found is that certain papers do better than others. And I use it as an embellishment. Sometimes I sew where I've put on lace or where there's double layers. I just sprinkle it through. Not every page, not everything is sewn. Some people sew around every page. It's a beautiful look. It's just not what I happen to do. This is a whole corner tuck that comes off. But yes, you do not have to have... That's one of the things I love about making junk journals. There's really no rules. You just create a book, whether it's from an old book using that cover or the front and back, and make an expandable spine. You can sew your signatures in like this one. You can use the cord method where you wrap cording around and just tuck pages under. You can make one big signature or up to as many as you want. This happens to be 5. I've seen them with up to 9. Oops, now I lost where I was. That's okay. I think you got a pretty good feel of where we are. Let's see, there was the corner tuck. flip down journaling spot with a pocket. I just think the variety is what makes it fun. Here's some more of that beautiful sari silk made into a bit of a ruffle. I usually gather those by hand and then put a little bit of glue to hold it in place and sew over it to hold it down. Some different laces again, and we're finally at the back cover. So there she is in all of her glory. I believe this, I said there's 152 pages. That counts fronts and backs of those, as well as the small journal that goes in the front, and that's about 32 pages. And that just ties in like this. Let's see. The back cover of this one slides into a pocket inside the front cover of the large journal, and then they tie on. That's just one of many ways to attach things. This small journal was not supposed to be this big. When I started, it was just going to be a small insert. Well, if you know me, I get carried away, so it did make it kind of thick, and that's part of why when I close it, well, close is a relative term here. When I put it like this, it's quite chunky. My sari silk here, see if I can get it laid out the right way. Move the tassel up, and I just use this to keep it closed. It's not tied super tight, but just enough to keep it from flipping open if you wanted to put it up on a shelf or on a table or whatnot. I'm not the best bow tire, especially on camera, right? Well, you get the idea. I could do a better job later. Anyway, there it is, and when it's sewn, of course, it's easier to carry. And again, the tassel could be used on or off of it. And there she is. Again, Garden Window is the name, and you can find her on my Etsy shop. The Etsy shop is called Treasure Heart Cottage. There's a link on this page to that if you're interested. And on to the next adventure. Thank you all for stopping in. Let's see. Christy, you had a comment. You have a box of English linens. Oh, I know. It is not easy, Christy, to cut things up. I do have quite a collection that I've been gathering over the last few years, and there's some that I've been able to cut and some that I haven't. There's some that I probably never will. It just kind of depends on, is it something that was passed on to me from a family member? I doubt if I would ever use it, but if it's something I've picked up at a church, bazaar or something that doesn't hold particularly special meaning to me and maybe has some damage on one end, I find it's a little easier to cut those. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you would share, make a comment, it would sure help my feed. And until next time, God bless and have a wonderful day. Bye.